Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now I don't know about you guys, but my weekends are never complete without a plate of curry, dal, and rice. No matter what kind of curry it is, piled over a plate of rice is just the most comforting thing and the most enjoyable thing to either start or end your weekend. There's no wrong time for a good curry. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my recipe for a chicken curry today. It's very simple and very quick to put together, to be honest. And I'm just going to show you guys how I served it up with my dal and my rice. So I hope you guys enjoy this quick and simple video today. Whenever making any type of curry, it's always good to have your prep work done beforehand, so this way the process can get done much faster. So on my board here, I have all my ingredients. I'm just slicing up a yellow onion. If you have a white onion or a red onion, that will work just fine too. I have my green seasoning, and if you want to see the recipes, they'll be linked right up in here in the right hand corner. I have some sliced scallions, a pimento pepper, which is optional if you don't have it. I'm just going to slice that up really fine. If you don't have the pimento peppers, you can use any other type of seasoning pepper you can get your hand on, or you can just totally omit it. This is not in my traditional Guyanese chicken curry recipe, but since I had them, I decided to throw them in. And on top of that, I also have some garlic cloves and my hot pepper, my wiri peppers, or you can use any other type of hot pepper of your choice. I also have my masala, my curry powder, as well as some cumin seeds. Now once you finish chopping all of your fresh ingredients, it's time to pound your garlic and your hot pepper. So in my mortar and pestle, I'm just pounding the two of those together, and I'm going to keep on doing that until a nice fine paste is formed. Now if you wanted to, you could go ahead and put this in your food processor with a little bit of water to go ahead and create a nice paste as well. Now once your garlic and hot pepper are crushed really well, you're going to put them into a bowl and start adding your spices. So I'm going in with my curry powder. I'm also going to go in with my homemade masala. If you want to see how Auntie Chitra and I made our family's homemade masala recipe, go ahead and click right up here in the right hand corner, or it'll be in the description box down below for you to check that video out. And now what I went in with is a little bit of water, and I'm just mixing it up until I get a nice thick paste to go ahead and make my curry. And at this point, everything is prepped and ready to make the curry. So unlike my previous chicken curry video, I'm not using a karahi to cook it. I just wanted to show you guys that you do not need a karahi to cook your curries. Although that is my pot of preference when making curries, I do like to cook it in regular standard stainless steel pots as well. So in my heavy bottom stainless steel pot, I went in with some oil, and I'm also going in with some cumin or jeera seeds just so they can get brown and they can perfume that oil really well. Once your cumin seeds become fragrant and they darken in color just a little bit, you're going to go in with those sliced onions that we had chopped up before. Now basically what you're going to do is fry this up or saute it in the hot oil until those onions soften up just a little bit. And as you guys can see, I'm also going in with those sliced scallions as well as my pimento pepper. Again, if you don't have the pimento pepper, you can totally omit it. Now as you guys can see, it's been about 3 minutes and my onions have softened a little bit and everything has gotten a little golden brown color. So now I'm going to go in with my curry paste. Now you guys might notice that this is a little different from how I usually make my curries. Usually I'll go straight in with the curry paste into the oil, then I'll add the onions once the curry paste is done cooking. I just also wanted to show you guys that it doesn't matter what stage you add these things in at. You can go ahead and play around with it and do what you're more comfortable with. So at this point, once you add in that curry paste, you're going to keep on stirring and cook it until it turns grainy. I almost forgot to mention, but when you add your curry paste in, you want to go ahead and add in some salt. The reason why we add salt in now is so this way we can build up those flavors. I say it for any curry dish that I make, you need to put some salt in to go ahead and start building up the flavors really well. And I also went in with a little pinch of black pepper, which is optional. Now at this point, I'm going to stir it up and continue to cook it until I see all of that oil release back from the spice mixture and until it turns a little crumblier and drier than it is here. As you guys can see, there's a lot of sticking going on at the bottom of the pot. My curry mixture has deepened in color and it is nice and dry. So those are your indications that the curry mixture is done cooking and you will not have any raw curry taste. So what I have here now is my freshly chopped chicken. Now we bought this chicken this morning from the grocery store. It wasn't a farm chicken, but it was from the grocery store. And we just went ahead, chopped it up, washed it. I didn't season it because I'm cooking my curry right away, so there's no need. And just a quick tip for all of you guys, I did get some hate messages on my last chicken curry video. A lot of people told me that I didn't season the chicken and that was bad. Now, I totally believe that once you have a chicken that you just bought and you wash it really well and you add it into the pot with all of your amazing spices and seasonings, there is absolutely no need to season it beforehand because it will soak up all of those beautiful seasonings in your pot. So I went in with my chicken, I went in with my green seasoning. Again, if you want to see how I make the green seasoning, the video will be in the description box, so you can check that out. And now what we're going to do is just stir all of those ingredients around, let the chicken marry with all of those spices, and we're going to let it bunje down, as Guyanese people know it as. And we're going to basically allow the chicken to release all of its natural juices, and for those juices to dry back up, and until the chicken sears with all of those spices. So this is about 8 minutes after I added my chicken and my green seasoning into the pot. As you guys can see, the chicken has deepened in color. It's been soaking up all of those curry spices really well. And as you guys can see, the bottom of the pot is getting just a little bit browner. What I want to happen is to allow everything on the bottom to start sticking just a little more, because that's going to help develop the taste and the color of the curry. So as you guys can see, the curry has deepened in color even more. There is more sticking going on at the bottom. And now we're going to go in with our water. Now, whenever you're making chicken curry, you want to be careful with how much water you add. This is some chicken that I'm using from the grocery store. Now, it wasn't a fresh fowl or the hard fowl that Guyanese people usually make. So this one takes a lot less water because it's a softer meat. If you were cooking a fresh fowl or something like that, you would need water to cover the chicken because that would take longer time to cook and for the meat to boil. So basically what I'm going to do after I add the new water is I'm going to cover it, allow it to simmer for about 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and do the next step. So my chicken was actually bubbling away on a medium heat for about 12 minutes. And as you guys can see, the gravy thickened up just a little bit. And at this point, my chicken is for the most part cooked. What I want to do now is go in with all of my potatoes. So I'm using about 2 potatoes here. I chopped them up into pretty large sized pieces because I do not want them to melt in the gravy and make it too thick. I'm adding in just a little bit more water to help those potatoes boil really well. And at this point, you can also go in with a little more green seasoning if you wanted, some salt, just anything to boost the taste if you would like as well. So I'm going to nestle those potatoes into the liquid. I'm going to cover the pot and I'm going to allow it to boil for about another 15 minutes or until those potatoes are nice and tender. It's been about 15 minutes at this point, and we're going to do a quick check on the chicken curry. As you guys can see, the chicken curry has deepened in color a little more. It has a beautiful tan color to it, a nice dark brown color, and as you guys can see, those potatoes are fully cooked. I went ahead and mashed them with my spoon and it's perfect. Now this is the way that I like my chicken curry. Being that right here in South Florida I can't really get the hard fowl that I'm used to when making chicken curry, what I like to do is not overcook this store-bought chicken. If you overcook it, it'll fall apart and become such a mess and it'll just shred everywhere. Now some people like a curry like that, but I like the meat to be nice and intact. So at this point, I'm going to take it off of the stove, make sure you give it a quick taste for salt, and then it is ready to serve over anything. You could serve it with rice or you can serve it with roti. I've eaten this over cauliflower rice, I've eaten it over quinoa. You can eat it with anything. The curry taste will soak up into just about anything. So as I said in the beginning of the video, whenever you're eating curry, the meal is just not complete without that rice and some dal to help build up those flavors and just to enjoy it with. So in my plate, I'm going in with some steamed jasmine rice, and I've got my dal here in my pot. As you guys can see, there's a lot of green stuff floating on the top. That is some bhaji that I added in just for some added taste and some, added nutrients. If you want to see how I make my dal recipe, I'll have it linked right up here in the right hand corner, and you can check it out in the description. The only difference between this dal and the one that I have on my channel is the addition of the spinach, which you can easily do when you are making your dal. So I'm just going in with my finger, making a little well in the middle of that rice so that dal can soak in really well, adding in my dal, and you can add in as much as you want. I like my dal and my curry pretty soupy. And at this point, I'm going to start piling on that amazing chicken curry. So I want you guys to leave it in the comments down below. What is your favorite part of the chicken to eat? If you're my mom, you love the chicken foot. If you're my Auntie Kanita, you love the liver or the heart. And if you are Auntie Kavita, you love any piece with bone in it. So I know everybody has their own favorite pieces. My favorite pieces are more of the meaty pieces, less of the bony parts. And of course, you got to get one of those nice pieces of soft, buttery potato in there. You guys, this is one of my favorite meals to eat on the weekend. So comforting. Reminds me of my childhood when my grandmother would cook this dish. And honestly, every time she does cook this dish, I still enjoy it just as much as I did so many years ago. So the chicken curry was just as simple as that, just a few quick and simple ingredients. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you get into your kitchen and try it. As you guys can see, I am dousing my plate with my pepper sauce. I'm getting my hands ready and washed so I could dig in there and eat my chicken curry, my dal, and rice. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I hope you enjoyed this video once again, and if you enjoyed, make sure you give it a nice big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed yet, and of course leave your amazing comments down below. Let me know what you guys would like me to make next. And of course guys, remember everybody makes these things differently. This is not a traditional Guyanese chicken curry per se. This is just the way that I decided to make it today, and I thought I would share it with you all.